Hello, teenagers with attitudes. This is part 2 of The Real Manos. Oh, Ask the Real Manos. I fucked that up. Well, anyway, this is part 2 of Ask the Real Manos, and it's brought to you by Primal Paper Comics and the Red Knight comic, which I produce. You can go to the website, you can order print and downloads that are just 99 cents. The prints are $3. And also, hey, the snazzy free comic book day, where every one of the 5 titles is represented. You can get this for free if you've been considering picking up one of our books. But, you know, hey, I don't want to spend any money. This is free! You can look at it for free! Go check it out, primalpapercomics.com. Now, I think we're answering questions or something. Let's go. Lindsay, what is the first question?
CC Scorsese videos.
Mm-hmm.
If you could recast Pulp Fiction with some actors from the time period that inspired the film, the 20s through the 60s, who would be some of the main players? Excuse me.
Gesundheit. There's so many great actors I could choose from. I guess to play Vincent Vega, I would probably maybe choose Brando, Marlon Brando. He was kind of crazy. He'd love to do parts like that. The actor to play Jules, I can't remember. Do you remember the actor who played Blackula? What was his name? I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Anyway, that guy. He's an awesome actor. To play Mia, I would probably say maybe Louise Brooks. She just has that feel for her. And let's see, for Butch, I would probably say Paul Newman. Paul Newman could do that part. I could definitely see that. As far as directing, I can't see anybody else making that movie. Alrighty. Next question, Lindsay.
Sid Part 2. Do you think internet memes have any significance to modern culture? Particularly, will they be an important influence on the future of literature, including graphic fiction?
I think the word literature is kind of a strong word to use with memes, but I think it's obvious if you even look at Tumblr for 5 seconds. You can definitely see the cultural impact that memes have. Where it's not just, you know, people posting a cat saying it wants something. It's like, they've sort of turned into like an electronic version of bumper stickers. Where people like have their political agendas or their humor or, you know, commenting on, you know, what's going on in the culture, either movies or TV or you know, just socially or anything. And I mean, they come up so fast. I mean, I could be watching an award show, something weird happens, and there is instantly a meme about it. It's crazy. It's like if something happens on TV, hilarious, and then 5 minutes later you can have a bumper sticker on your car remarking about it. It's I don't know. I think it already has it's already had an impact on our culture, but I don't know what kind of impact we shall soon see. Lindsay, next question.
Magpie's Nest Productions. Got any advice for someone publishing their first comic?
Yeah, I think so. Couple things come to mind. First off, if you're really gonna do this, good luck. I will say this. You really need to make sure it's something you want to do. Something that's just in you and festering and you have to get it out. There's just no other better feeling when you do it. Now, with that said, I don't know if you're going to be doing the art for it or you're going to be paying somebody, but get ready to pay money. Either pay artists, pay printers, and that's if you go with a local printer, or maybe one of these online printers like Kablam or something like that. I chose to go with a local company that does some really nice work for us. And yeah, you may want to pay, like, yeah, besides the editor, you may need to pay, like, a letterer or an editor. Lindsay thankfully works very cheap and does not mind if I don't pay her for months. My editor works really cheap. I I pay him in free copies of Red Knight, which is a great deal. But also, you got to keep in mind, if you go to comic shows, I mean, you should probably get a table to get yourself out there. That costs money. And if you go to a show out of town, if you don't stay with anybody, the hotel fees and the table fees add up. So you really need to put yourself out there. And here we go to my next point, which is kind of unfortunate, but I have to be blunt about this. No one wants to read your book. Everyone wants to read Batman. They don't want to read your book. They don't know your book. And that's something I've had to deal with in doing Red Knight, is when you make a comic book, when you make something like this, you know, or, right here, or this, you have to get it out there. You have to hand it to people and say, this is terrific. This is something I'm doing. You should really read this. And yeah, it's tough. And you can't just do it once and expect people to start flocking to you. You have to keep doing it over and over again. Otherwise, they'll forget or not get interested and go back to reading Batman. When you go to conventions, you gotta have yourself. You gotta have yourself ready. You have to have your table looking nice, and you have to be professional. If someone says anything snide to you, you can't tell them, "Fuck you, get out of here." You have to be professional. Your book has to look professional, and you have to be prepared with the pitch. Like, what can you say within, I don't know, 25 words of what your book's about that is simple and not going to confuse anybody, or, you know, once you're talking, you see their eyes glaze over and go, I'm glad, sorry I asked. You have to just kind of learn to be the pitch man, because when you self-publish, you're everything. You're not like Marvel or DC where you have a staff for a fucking book. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking a lot tonight, so I'm losing my voice a little. But yeah, keep those things in mind. If it's something you really need to do, then you need to do it. But keep in mind, it is an uphill battle. And I've been doing Red Knight for 3 years. And thankfully, I've come across some really talented, extraordinary people doing some work for me. Artist-wise, lettering-wise, editing-wise. And, you know, I've hooked up with Primal Paper Comics, and they're wonderful. And I couldn't be more proud to be with this group of very extraordinary, talented writers and artists. But not everybody has that. You know, some people are just completely by themselves. So, just keep in mind, it ain't easy. But I will say this. It is a lot easier than it was 10 years ago and 20 years ago. Because of this whole internet thing and social media thing we're all doing. It's a lot cheaper than it was when I was first thinking about doing this in like the 90s. I didn't think I'd ever get this thing launched. So, take advantage of the advantages you have with the internet and social media, and keep using them, keep plugging them, and good luck.
Let's see. Deadpoolzilla.
Hey, Deadpool.
You once talked about how you'd like to see a Transformers Ghost in the Shell crossover. If you got to write said crossover, how would you do it?
I love both Transformers and Ghost in the Shell. And I would probably be loose and fast with the continuities of both properties, just because with crossovers you shouldn't be a stickler. And I would probably set it in the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex continuity and time period, which I think is like in the 2130 or something like that, or 2030, excuse me. It's in 2030. And I would probably start with the premise that the Transformers, the war, the Cybertronium War, is fought and won and lost, and there's peace, and they've left Earth, and now it's the time of Major Kusanagi and the Section 9 guys in Tokyo, and there are some events and sightings of these robots who are transforming and causing havoc. So they go into the investigation. What they discover is that the Transformers have returned secretly, investigating what happened to some of their lost comrades. And when Kusanagi and Bato and all the wacky gang of Section 9 start investigating with some of the Transformers, they discover that some Transformers were left behind and captured by Earth's governments and scientists, and they took them apart and experimented on them and basically pretty much killed them, and used the technology they learned to help create the technology that's in present-day Ghost in the Shell. So a lot of the robotics and cybernetics and technology that they have is due directly from swiping from dead Transformers. So what I think would be cool was, as the mystery is unfolding, there's going to be a rift between the newly bonded Autobots and Decepticons, because they're kind of disagreeing on what they should do about this. And of course we have Kusanagi in the middle of everything. And how cool would it be for her to hack into some Transformers? That would be like the best shit ever. That would be worth doing the whole thing, so I could do that. So that's pretty much what I got. Hey, anybody who owns those properties, give me a call. I'll be happy to write that. Anyway, next question.
Mr. Rather Dashing asks, aside from Amanda Palmer, I have no idea what kind of music you like or listen to. Could you tell us about the music you like? Do you like Oingo Boingo? I get Oingo Boingo vibes listening to Amanda Palmer.
Yes, I do like Oingo Boingo. And I like all 47,000 scores Danny Elfman has done. They're really good. My particular favorite score of his is probably the Edward Scissorhands score, closely followed by the Batman Returns score. I actually like the Batman Returns score even better than the Batman score. I just think it's so beautiful. And, oh, music, oh god, okay, yeah. I do love Amanda Palmer. I think she's fantastic. And the Dresden Dolls, which is her first duo. And Lindsay really got me into those, actually. We've gone to a few of her concerts. And before her, you know, god, I've kind of been a big fan of rock and pop from like the 60s on through the present, and all sorts of variations of rock. God, I mean, like the Doors, and They Might Be Giants, and Tori Amos, and ELO, and Nirvana, and Alice in Chains, and oh my god, and My Chemical Romance, and Pink, and the Smiths, and Marilyn Manson, and REM, Disturbed, I love them, and I'm just kind of all over the place, really. God, I could keep going. I mean, I love music. I don't know if I have one particular thing I'm always in love with, who is the #1 band for me. But yeah, I also love like older rap too, like LL Cool J and Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill's so cool. Anyway, I think that's enough. What's the next question?
Amuya reviews. Who would you cast in a Red Knight movie?
I don't know. I think I would probably, for Nathan R. Anderson, I'd love to see Woody Harrelson. For Martha Brown, I think, let's see, her name's Jessica Jones, right, from Daily Show? I like that actress a lot. She needs to learn kung fu and shit. Told her to do the part. But she's about around the right age. And is Tom McClane Red Knight himself? I don't know. I always don't know who would be a good Red Knight. Lindsay, do you have any like opinions on that? You watch TV and movies?
Yeah, I do. I don't know.
Okay, neither one of us know. We're stumped. I never know who could play my hero. But I could probably like name off some favorites for the supporting cast. Anyway, what's next?
Ziploc Gory.
Hey, Ziploc.
If you could change any event in the past, what would it be?
My personal events or historical? Well, I wouldn't have Bush get reelected. I think his election was just, and his presidency was just a clusterfuck that is still haunting us. So, yeah, that'd be number one on my agenda. And yeah, what about 9/11? Well, that might actually solve 9/11 too. Because he's a really bad president. Not an evil guy, not a bad guy, but just an incompetent president. You know, he's like basically a Will Ferrell character. Oh wait, he is. So that would probably be my number one choice. That would off the top of my head. Anyway, what's next?
The first Renegade asks, do you play or enjoy any tabletop games or card games?
No, I don't. I played, I mean, we've all played, like, card games, you know, from time to time. I assume you're talking about Magic and shit like that. I've never played anything like that. I played, like, Uno. I used to love Uno as a teenager. And in my 20s. And, you know, I've played poker. I'm awful at poker. I am fucking terrible at poker. If you want to win some money, play against me. I am terrible. Yeah, I've never played any tabletop card games or anything like this. I did know a guy who was friends with a guy who invented Pimps the Backhanding, which was a parody of Magic the Gathering, where it was exactly what it sounds like. It was a card role-playing game where you have to be the most successful pimp. It's hilarious and awesome. I enjoyed the shit out of playing it. So that's all I have.
Let's see. Sky Spidey 14. If a movie was made about your life, who would you want to play you?
Oh, let's see. Who are all the people that people tell me I remind them of? I get a bunch of people, like, through my entire life, I've heard people go, hey, you look like Matthew Broderick. Or, I've had people tell me I remind them of Kevin Spacey. I know. There's this one woman I work with who's, like, obsessed with me and Kevin Spacey. And, like, she would tell me, like, every day. It's like, yeah, I heard, like, 42 times in a row you said I look like Kevin Spacey. I haven't forgotten about that. So, yeah, I would probably... Actually, if I had to choose, I would probably choose John Cusack. Which is kind of returning the favor because he's already kind of played my life in Say Anything and Better Off Dead. I've been those guys. So, why not play me one more time for real?
Let's see. Superhero enthusiast.
Yay!
Do you consider the Punisher a superhero?
That's kind of tricky, frankly. Because if you look at him, technically I guess he fits in because he has an iconic costume that he always wears. He actually Yeah, he just shoots guys, and he's a human being. But you know what? The lengths he goes to is superhuman. There is no person who could get away with what he's doing for like more than a week without the whole country after him. So I guess maybe, but to be honest, I actually consider him a stupid murderer. Um, so, because you know what? He has long killed the people who killed his family. What's he doing? The thing is, he doesn't kill people. He doesn't kill evil people to save other people. He just kills people that are evil. I guess in the long term, so they don't eventually hurt other people. But, yeah. He's not changing the world. And, you know, there's some people, some fans who argue, like, oh, Batman should kill this guy and this guy, you know, because it's, you know, his responsibility, and, you know, they go off and kill other people. Or he throws these villains in jail and they break out and kill more people. Well, Punisher's been killing lots of guys. He hasn't made the world any better. And actually, some of those guys escape and kill more people. He's just causing more problems to boot. So maybe he's a superhero, or more like a super anti-hero. Because yeah, he at least kills in the right direction, but I don't know. I think he just causes more harm than good. That's my personal opinion because I don't particularly like the character. I still think of him as a really popular Spider-Man villain that just snowballed. So that's pretty much my viewpoint on him. Alright, I think that's it for part 2. And hang out. Tomorrow we'll be posting part 3. So until next time, push the button, Lindsay.